Alright. Let's get into some Phoenix Wright, shall we? Ace Attorney. Press enter. Can do. Alright, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. This is the PC version for anybody who's interested. Yeah, we're going to go through it. This is a game I played initially on the Nintendo DS when it came out. Or not came out, but sort of in the early 2000s. So I have experienced most of it. Don't remember a lot of it in terms of the content. But I will be following a guide because I know there were parts of it that got pretty insane in terms of like, I knew what I was trying to say, but it wasn't the correct spot for the game. So I'll use a guide just because it's easier. Yeah, alright, let's get into it. So we got Phoenix Wright, Justice for All, which is number 2, Trials and Tribulations, which is number 3. Alright, start with this one. I'm hoping at some point they release, hoping at some point they do release Apollo Justice. I think it was Apollo Justice anyway. For the PC as well, and the other games. There's a lot of Phoenix Wright games at this point, and I hope they keep making them for PC. Alright, first turnabout. Achievement! I mean, it's a Steve achievement, so nobody cares. Gasp, gasp. Ooh. She seems to have suffered a head injury. I can't get caught. Not like this. I've got to find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. Defendant lobby number 2. Boy, am I nervous. Right. It's Mia. Oh, hiya, Chief. Phew, I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. Good work, Phoenix. I forgot that this was his, yeah, that makes no sense to me, but okay. It says a lot about you, and your client as well. Thanks? Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Yes. Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out in any way I can. Or any way I can, I guess. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over. My life, everything. It's all over. Is that your client screaming over there? Yeah, it's him. Death, despair. Oh! I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna die. Sounds like he wants to die. What gave that away? Yeah. Nick! Hey. Hey there, Larry. It's Larry! Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell them I'm guilty. What? Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished! I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Oh, I forgot that's why I was upset. Who? Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Oh, Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death? The newspapers say it was you. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts. My best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, if something smells, it's usually the butts. Fitting. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself into trouble. One thing I can say though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone he's a good guy at heart. That, and I owe him one, which is why I took this case to clear his name. And that's just what I'm going to do. August 3rd. District Courtroom. The court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The, defense is ready, Your Honor? Ahem. Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm, a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Hands shaking, eyesight fading. This test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. It's the Butts. The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name? Whew, I know this one. Glad I read over the case report so many times. It's... Wait. Uh-oh. No way, I forgot. I'm drawing a total blank here. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name? Oh, the victim? Of course I know the victim's name. I, just forgot. Temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record, which is obtainable by the tab key. Just press tab to check it at any time, okay? So can I do it now? Oh, you can. Cool. Cindy's autopsy report. Time of death. Blood loss due to blunt force trauma. Do I have... Oh, I do. Cindy Stone, age 22. The victim in this case. A model. She lived in the apartment by herself. Cool. Thanks, Mia. Remember to check it often. Do it for me. Please, I'm begging you. Mr. Wright, who is the victim in this case? Cindy Stone. The victim's name is Cindy Stone. Correct! Now, tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was... poisoned. Hit with a blunt object. She was struck once by a blunt object. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then. First, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne. Yes, Your Honor. As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court what that object was? The murder weapon was this statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepts it into evidence. Statue added to the court record. Right. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Use tab to check the court record frequently. Gavel! Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand. Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. Uh-oh. Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Oi! Hey, watch it, buddy! We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Didn't they both die? Didn't they all die? I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls. Or seeing me. Ever. What's it to you anyway? Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. Aww. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. Damn, that's harsh. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies. All of it. Lies. I don't believe a word of it. Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Passport added to the court record. Indeed, she appears to have returned the day before the murder. Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies. Ew. Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude! We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? Right. I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I? Now I believe... Wait and see what happens. Really? Alright, we'll wait and see what happens. Might be better not to get involved with this one. Or in this one. Well, Mr. Butts? Dude, no way! That cheating she-dog! I'm gonna die! I'm just gonna drop dead! Yeah, and when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Let's continue with the trial, shall we? I believe the accused's motive is clear to everyone. Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is not looking so good. Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Or gulp. Well, did you or did you not? Well, maybe I did and maybe I didn't. Uh-oh, he went. What do I do? Have him answer honestly. I know, I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Yeah. Yeah, I was there. I went. That's gonna happen a lot, as I recall. Order! Well, Mr. Butts? Dude, chill! She wasn't home, man. So, like, I didn't see her. Oh, Jesus. Such a screech. Your Honor, the defendant is lying. Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying. Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness? The man who found the victim's body. Just before making the gruesome discovery, he saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Rabble, rabble, rabble again. Order! Order in the court. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. You think? On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. It's an odd thing to be doing. Please bring Mr. Fank Sowit to the stand. Oh, there he is. There's the killer. Mr. Sowit, you sell newspaper subscriptions. Is this correct? Oh yes. Newspapers, yes. Mr. Sowit, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. Witness account. I was going door to door, selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it was strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 PM. The man who ran was without a doubt the defendant sitting right over there. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sowit used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. Blackout record added to the court record. From from noon till 6. Okay. Now, Mr. Wright. Yes. Yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? Alright, Wright. This is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Why, you exposed the lies in the testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Ooh, where's the key? There doesn't seem to be any key. Alright, well she definitely died well after 1 o'clock, but okay. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find the contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in their face. Or the witness's face, but their face is better. Okay. Open the court record with tab and then point out the contradictions in the testimony. So door to door, they thought Larry was in a hurry, he looked in the apartment, saw her corpse, quailed in fright and couldn't go in, thought to call the police immediately, however the phone in her apartment wasn't working, we saw that, found a public phone, it was 1 PM. So we are going to go to this one, and we are going to... First one of the game, is everybody ready? Even though there's no one watching, but still. Yeah, missed that sound. You found the body at 1 PM. You're sure? Yes, it was 1 PM for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at sometime after 4 PM. There was no body to find at 1 PM. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Oh, that. Oh, oy. This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time? Get out of it! After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Sowit, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 PM? Gee, that's a really good question. Great job, me. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. I love that line. See through one and their whole story falls apart. Wait, I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? Do they not, like, get in trouble for, like, just lying to the court? Like, surely there's got to be some kind of, like, punishment, right? You see, I found the body when I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a videotaped program. That's why I thought it was 1 PM, but the blackout was from noon. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Right. You know what to do. I've got this one. Time of discovery. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. Objection! Yeah! Objection 2! Hold it right there! What's that from? I can't remember. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. Gah! Well, the defense has a point. Of course I have a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sawit? No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Lies! Ah, wait. I remember now. Mr. Sawit? The court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That's all they're harming? He's just casually lying under oath? That, and you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body, still. Very well, Mr. Sawit. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. One more time. Hearing the time. Actually, I didn't hear the time, I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. You saw a clock. I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment. Wasn't there? So... this is one where you press it. Hold it! A table clock? Was there a clock at the scene? This is the first I've heard of it. Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. Now, find the contradiction. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. It's a clock. Okay, so the guy told me to press here. Try that one again, shall we? A table clock? Was there a... yeah, we've done that one. Huh. Oh, present the statue, idiot. Not present, not press, present. Can't bloody read. Nope, wrong one. It's a... wait, what? Oh, he said he killed the victim with it. Yes, of course. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock? You with your objections and your evidence. Who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Sweet. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honour, if I may. Yes, Mr. Payne. As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. And it doesn't look like a clock. I submitted it as a statue. My apologies. I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with this testimony? Yes, of course I do. If it's activated on the neck... Your Honour, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment. Knew the victim. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah? Prove it. Prove I went in there. I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Rabble, rabble, rabble. Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honour. Mr. Sewit, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon just spoke as you hit the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. The voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. Well, that's not really evidence, but... You'll have to excuse the cough. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day, I never... Look, the clock, I heard, no, I mean, I saw... He threw his hair at my face. His hair's oddly my colour. Shut up, shut up, shut up, I hate you. What are you, 5? It was him, I tell you. I saw him. He killed her, and he should burn. Burn! Give him death! God, that's extreme. More rabble. Order. Order in the court, I say. Your Honour, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence to support the defence's claims. Mr. Wright, Your Honour, you claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I'd better think it through carefully. Your Honour, the sound Mr. heard, saw a sound, good work, idiot, was definitely this clock. A fact of which is clear if you simply try sounding the clock. Ask the neighbours. Why would you examine the batteries? Now, let's sound the clock now, here, in this court. Your Honour, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. Beep. I think it's 8:25. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Yeah, it is. Well, he is the thinker after all. Yeah, but that's still stupid. So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. Ack. As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sewit heard and the actual time of death. But that doesn't prove that the time was that at the time, but... Okay. So, Mr. Sewit, try to talk your way out of this one. Ha ha ha. You forgot one thing. Uh-oh. What's he talking about now? While it may seem like the clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case. He's right. How am I going to prove that? Damn it, I was so close. Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately, gavel, this ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sweet. I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens! You treat me like a criminal! A criminal! Well, that's because you are one. I saw it at the beginning of the game. You lawyers are all slime. I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Who yells out, hold it? Not so fast, Mr. Sweet. Oh, they didn't say hold it for Mia? Boo. Mia. I mean, Chief. Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Not like this. Think. But Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow on the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right. Right? Can you think of a reason why the clock would be 3 hours slow? Yes. Wait, maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let them have it! Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? Of course. There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt. Ha! Tough words. Let's see you pull this one off. It's the passport, right? She took the clock with her? The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 PM here, it's 1 AM the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Sweet? Or should I say, Mr. Did It? Oh! Oh, God. Order, order, I say! Froths at the mouth and passes out. That's gross. Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness, he was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor. Oh. Very well. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly. And find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not guilty. Man, I'd like to see a courtroom where when the innocent party's actually found innocent, they throw a bunch of confetti. And with that, this court is adjourned. Turns out that Frank Sweet was a common burglar. Oh. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check out and see when people were out of the house. That day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sweet let him in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, he grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find and smashed her in the head with it. Poor lady. I mean, yeah, still poor lady, but, you know, probably not the nicest person, so. Phew, I still can't believe we won. Right, good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. Nah, that's not true. I was gonna totally just take it, apparently. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. Man, devastated. His girlfriend's still dead. My life is over. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? Aw, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Oh my god, so dramatic. Good. Wait, no. I mean, bad. Bad, bad, bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Cindy Windy's gone, man. Gone forever. Cindy Windy, really? Seems like this, case is, one that you'd hold in a classroom for kids. The way they're talking. Larry, she was a... Oh, nah, never mind. Yeah, don't dash his dreams, man. Congratulations, Harry. Good old Harry Butts. Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts. Innocent. Thanks. I really owe you one. Won't forget this, ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner? Movie? My true. Is he immediately hitting on Mia? Oh no, I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present. A present? For me? Man, he really is. He's hitting on Mia. Like his girlfriend was just murdered. He's only just gotten out of court and he's immediately hitting on Mia. Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Why the hell would you do that? Really? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Don't that make you just want to cry? Or make you want to just cry? Sob. Larry. Are you so sure? Excuse me? Man. I forgot that I thought that Larry was Jar Jar Binks. I think she thought quite a lot of you, in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me. It's okay. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing. Really? Isn't that right? Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? Huh? Oh, yeah. Right. What the heck is she talking about? Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. But Larry is just some chump. Huh? What about that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. And she took it with her when she travelled. Whatever, she probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take travelling. Yeah, that is true. Well, make of it what you will. Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks. Hope that made him feel a little better. I mean, it's Larry. He probably feels better. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. I mean, anybody who's like over the age of 5 would understand the importance of evidence in a court case. Again, I don't know why you're treating me like I'm a school child. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People, too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right? Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Man, I'm like... Phoenix Wright is like Captain America. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner? On me. Score free dinner. We'll drink a toast to innocent butts. I know you can't see me because I don't have a webcam, but I'm totally deadpanning the camera right now. If there was one. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him? Yeah? Part at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe. Over drinks? Is Mia hitting on me? Is she like immediately hitting on me after Larry hits on her? Oh, is there a love triangle going on here? And so my first trial came to a close. Spoiler alert, no it's not. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends." But I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay us, unless you count the clock he gave Mia. I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to become the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. See, told you. The end. Alright, first turnabout done. A brand new episode has been added. Turnabout Sisters. Yeah, we'll save my progress. No save data. Let's do this one. Alrighty. That's actually not a bad place to leave it, because I have family home soon. So, yeah, we'll continue on with this hopefully tomorrow. I'm hopefully going to be streaming from about 5:30 Eastern Australian time to about 7, 8 o'clock, depending upon what time I need to be done to prepare foods for family. So if there is anybody in chat, I don't think there is. If there is anybody watching, thank you very much. And if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a good night.